Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, My Extraordinary Ordinary if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. My name is Danielle, and today I'm going to talk to you about 4 things you can do to simplify your morning. Now I don't know about you, but a lot of times if I feel like my morning was rushed or harried, or I got a late start, or my morning for whatever reason didn't go well, it tends to set a negative tone for the rest of my day, and it really kind of puts my day off to a bad start. But on those mornings when my morning is simple and it goes easily and it goes the way I want it to go, and I'm able to get out the door on time and be relaxed about it, the rest of my day seems to go really, really well. So I want to give you my pointers and my tips, and I want to hear from you what some of your tips are and what you think of my advice. Now, the first thing I want to tell you about this before we get started is that simplifying your morning actually starts the night before. And that's the mistake that I think a lot of people make when they think about really getting going, having a productive day, having a good morning, having a peaceful morning. And this really depends on what stage of life you're in and what kind of household you have. Are you a single person and you live alone? Are you someone that lives with a partner or a roommate, but maybe you don't have any kids around you or living with you? Are you someone that has smaller kids in the home that you have to care for and basically do everything for? Are you someone in the home that has teenagers that can do some more things on their own, but you still kind of have some kids underfoot that you have to manage and kind of encourage to get going in the morning? So depending on your stage of life, that will determine what you do with these tips and maybe how you implement them. But it's really important to remember that it starts the night before. And we've all heard the old adage that failing to plan is basically planning to fail. So success does start with some planning, and it should start the night before. Now, in being really honest and transparent, I will let you know that I am not the most organized person. My sister-in-law Nancy is super organized, and I love going to her home because everything is very organized and has a place, and she's very organized in the way that she keeps her home, and I love it, and I definitely aspire to that. But I am definitely not like that all the time. But when it comes to my mornings, I pretty much am, and I have a certain way of doing things, and I like things a certain way. And one of the things that I learned personally a long time ago that really simplifies my mornings is waking up to a clean kitchen. I do not like waking up to dirty countertops, dishes in the sink. It really just makes me feel very chaotic, and it really tends to set my morning back, because when I wake up in the morning, I need to go into the refrigerator, get my vitamins out, take my vitamins, I want to make my coffee, maybe make myself some breakfast, and if everything in my kitchen is dirty and cluttered, and I don't have any room in the sink to wash my dishes or clean out my coffee pot, it bothers me, and it kind of tends to slow me down in the morning and put me in a negative frame of mind. So really for me, no matter how tired I am, I really do take the time and make the effort to clean my kitchen at night, because think about it, when you wake up in the morning, if your kitchen is dirty and maybe you have dishes in the sink and the dishwasher's full and your counters are dirty, you almost feel like you can't get going on your morning routine, get your breakfast out, pack lunches, whatever you need to do, without kind of cleaning up your kitchen first, which kind of puts you behind the 8 ball, because you can't really start your morning until you clean up from the night before. So personally for me, that's something that I've adapted in my routine that I always do, because I find it really helps me simplify my morning and start my morning off in a more peaceful, relaxed, and organized way. The second tip I have for you in order to simplify your morning that starts the night before is get things ready the night before. Whatever you can do the night before, get it ready the night before. So if that means laying out your clothes, if you've got small children in the home, you want to lay their clothes out. Even if you've got older kids in the house, encourage them to get their clothes ready the night before. I've got teenagers, and I can't tell you how many times in the morning they will run around and say, where's my other sock? Where's this shirt I want to wear? Encourage them to lay their clothes out the night before, or you lay their clothes out if they're too young to do it themselves. And going along with laying out the clothes the night before, make sure the clothes are free of holes, free of stains, and ready to be worn. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've laid out clothes the night before, and then I go to put them on the next day and I realize, oh, the shirt has a big stain on it, or my pants don't fit me right anymore because I should have donated them last year. And that is a really big pain in the butt. So you want to make sure that you're really ready with your clothes the night before. And if you've got children in the home, make sure that they put their school bags by the door, put anything that they need for school by the door so it's ready to go. And I would even say this, if you've got things that you can even put in your car the night before, maybe you've helped your child do a science project, or maybe you have to bring something to school the next day for them. If you can put it in your car the night before so you have less things to remember and carry out the morning of, I would tell you to go ahead and do that. I always did that with my kids when they were younger, and it really helped simplify my morning a lot. The other thing in our household that we've always done, and we still do, and this would go along with getting things ready the night before, is packing my kids' lunches the night before, or now that they're old enough to pack their own lunches, I have them do it the night before. And sometimes they complain about it, sometimes they don't want to do it till the morning, but let me tell you from experience, it's a little thing. And sometimes, many times when my kids were younger and I was a single mom, I was exhausted and I did not feel like doing it the night before, but it really does help your mornings go smoother. You never know what's going to happen in the morning. Maybe you'll miss your alarm. Maybe you'll get a call from your boss saying that they need you to go into work earlier because there's an emergency. Maybe you'll get a call from the school and they want you to bring something extra to school. There's a million different things that can throw a wrench into your morning that you're not aware of the night before or even the morning of. But if you are prepared, you can really have your morning go smoothly, and you can simplify it and be ready for those extra little things that may crop up that you're not aware of. Now, the third way that you can simplify your mornings is to develop a morning routine. And like I said, the morning routine for you is going to be different than it will be for like me or somebody else, depending on your stage of life. But figure out your morning routine, figure out what works best for you, and develop that routine and get in the habit of doing that routine. When you know that you have a routine that works for you, that you feel comfortable with, then things just go more smoothly and things can be more simplified because you know what's coming. So for example, my morning routine is I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I go in the kitchen, I take my vitamins, I drink a liquid multivitamin that I really like, and I do this because I am a big believer in taking vitamins and it does help me hydrate in the morning. I will have my liquid vitamins that I really like, that I recommend, and they're for men or women, linked below in case you're interested, but I really like these vitamins. They're called Eco Drink. So I go ahead and drink my vitamins, and I also put my tea kettle on to make my French press coffee. Now, I love coffee. You guys know this if you've been subscribed to me for a while. If you haven't been subscribed to me for a while, why not? Take a minute and hit that subscribe button down below. Ring the bell if you like videos that help you be the best version of yourself you can be, physically, emotionally, and mentally. I'd love to see you back here. I'd love to have you join the My Extraordinary Ordinary family. But anyway, as I was saying, I get my tea kettle going to boil the water for my French press coffee. If I know I'm going to have a really early morning and I don't want to take the time to make French press coffee, then I will set up my coffee in our standard coffee maker the night before, and I will have it set to automatically start brewing. I've got several different methods of coffee that I can make depending on what I have time for and what I'm in the mood for, because I love coffee. If I'm super busy or I forget or something, I do have a Keurig option as well, because I want to make it as humanly possible for me to walk out the door with coffee in the morning, because that's how much I love coffee. But to me, that's really important. So as I'm taking my vitamins, I'm getting my coffee ready, or checking to make sure that the coffee pot is set up the way it should be, that it's going to start brewing automatically the way I've set it up to do the night before. And then after I've taken my vitamins and checked on my coffee, I will take the things out that I want for breakfast, whether that's bacon and eggs out of the fridge. A lot of times for breakfast, I will have bacon and eggs. I love having bacon and eggs for breakfast, and it doesn't have to take a real long time. I will stick my bacon in the oven. That's the way I like to cook bacon. And it'll be cooking while I go take my shower, and then I'll come out and I will make my eggs, pull up my bacon. So that's kind of my routine, and that's the way that it really works for me. My kids are so great because they graciously get up early and take their showers and get them out of the way so that I can take my shower when I want to, and I don't have to wake up before my kids in order to get a shower in the morning, because there's 4 of us that share one bathroom in our home. So that's the way that we figured out that it works, and I'm really appreciative to my teenage boys that they're that thoughtful and willing to do that for me. But that's the way our routine, our morning routine, kind of works in the home. Then my boys will come and have their breakfast after they've showered and gotten dressed. I'll remind them to grab their lunches, and then we're kind of out the door. And that's the way our morning routine is. And typically it's really smooth. There's minimal to no yelling or arguing, and everybody has their clothes ready. They're easily able to get dressed without any fussing or looking around. And it just makes our mornings run a lot more smoothly, and they're a lot more peaceful. So developing your morning routine, whatever that is for you, maybe you have one that works for you and maybe you don't, maybe you haven't done that yet, but I will tell you that definitely will help simplify your morning. Now the last point I want to make, the fourth point I want to make, is somewhat controversial. Some of you won't agree with me and some of you definitely won't want to do this. But I will tell you from experience, this is really a good way to simplify your morning. So I will tell you, even if you're resistant to this or you don't agree with me, just try it. Try it and see what you think, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm really curious to know, do you like this tip, or is this something you would never ever try or never ever do? So my fourth tip in how to simplify your morning is to wake up 10 to 15 minutes earlier. Wake up and get out of bed 10 to 15 minutes before you actually have to be out of bed. Many people in the morning only allot just enough time to get up, get dressed, and get out the door in the morning. They really value their sleep, as they should. Sleep is really, really important, but they don't allow really any extra time in the mornings, and that really depends on when you have to be at work or when you have to get going or when your first appointment is. That can vary from day to day. To be honest, sometimes when I have to be to work at 5:45 or 6 a.m., I'm not as good at doing this, but then again, I have the kind of job where I can do one appointment and come back home and still have time to finish my morning routine and set up for my day. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people, once you get up and you're out the door for the day, for work or what have you. So you don't have the opportunity like I might have to come back home after doing an hour-long appointment and finish my morning routine and set up for the rest of my day. But by getting up 10 to 15 minutes before you have to, it does simplify your morning. Because like I said before, lots of things can happen in the morning to derail us and make our mornings chaotic, or make us late that we don't know about in advance or we can't anticipate. When you give yourself that little extra cushion, it just helps you relax a little more. It helps you be a little bit more peaceful. Remember that when you are stressed out, when you're anxious, your body begins to produce that cortisol in your gut that really causes us to gain belly fat and to feel not very good physically. So we want to keep ourselves as calm and as peaceful as we can to avoid our bodies producing that cortisol and avoid those really unwanted, anxious, stressed out feelings that we tend to get when we feel like we're running late or we're harried or we have one more thing thrown on our plate that we didn't expect. By getting up a few minutes early, it allows you to run a little ahead of schedule. Take a little time for yourself. Make sure that you eat something so that you're not leaving on an empty stomach, so that 3 hours later you're not super hungry. Make sure that you can leave a little earlier for work or for that first appointment so that you're not running late, and you just tend to feel a little bit better. If you're someone that likes to pray or meditate or maybe read your Bible, take a little bit of time in the morning to focus on doing that before you start your day, because it'll just help you feel a little bit more focused, a little bit more centered, and a little bit more calm and peaceful, and that will definitely help simplify your morning. So like I said, I know that last tip is somewhat controversial, especially for those of you that are not morning people and you struggle just to get out of bed at your normal time. That's going to be a challenge. So let me know in the comments below if that's a tip that you currently do or something that you're going to try. So those are my 4 tips that will help you simplify your morning. Let me know in the comments below if you currently do any of these tips right now, or if you're going to try any of these tips and see if they do help you simplify your morning. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching today, and as I said before, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and ring the bell so you never miss any of my future videos. I will look forward to seeing you in my next video, and remember to make your everyday ordinary life extraordinary.